We got a schedule.
Let's go, baby. News in May.
Let's go. I'm actually kind of fired up right now.
Wait. I have an issue, though, with you.
Oh, yes. Please air out your issues with me.
What time is it? It's 8 hours ago.
Yes.
You came on these airwaves and said, I am not a schedule leaker. You said, I'm out of the game.
I am.
I don't do that anymore, so don't be looking for me for news. So I'm like, okay, great. Going to stay away from your timeline today. 3 hours later, you're just out here breaking news.
Nope.
What is it?
All I did was present a hypothetical scenario. As if I wasn't retired from schedule leaks, then I would leak this. But I didn't leak it.
And which one was that?
It was, I don't know, something like Broncos Chiefs Week 6 Thursday Night Football.
Broncos Chiefs Thursday Night Football on the schedule.
No way.
You liar.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Man, the hypothetical guy who wasn't retired would have nailed that.
Yeah, impressive. Impressive hypothetical for your retiredness.
Also, we have some big news. 20 seconds of still on the actual schedule at the end of the Broncos video.
But was that enough time for you to actually see the whole schedule?
Well, Zach, the boys have come up in the world. And I just mean us.
Okay.
We didn't need the schedule release video to have the schedule on it because we had the schedule already.
Yep, you're right.
So, So
it got to be entertainment for you.
Yeah, it was entertainment. There was an all-time great clip in there of Angela from The Office. The whole theme is kind of planning a schedule release party. And I guess the idea is that all of the opponents are going to be there.
Okay.
So she's like, we need to get some food for the Chargers, something soft that they can't choke on. And I was like,
I love it.
The best thing that a team account can do is be savage.
100%.
It's really like the only way to gain points with me.
And with the fan base for the most part.
Right, but it's kind of hard to be funny without being savage.
So
you
true.
can't be self-deprecating.
No.
I mean, unless you're like a really bad team, I think probably the worst teams can be a little
Sure.
I assume the Rockies account could get away with being a little self-deprecating.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to do anything funny without dragging someone else.
It's really true. And didn't they also have a little bit about the Raiders?
They did. I didn't see it, but someone wrote to me and said, the trash can with the Raiders logo on it was great. So they snuck in a little Easter egg that I missed.
That is amazing. And from what we've saw, they did not do anything with the Chiefs, which probably smart.
Yeah.
Just stay away.
Someone's asking if we could show it. I mean, we could.
Could we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's no reason not to. All credit to the Broncos.
Yeah, Alyssa, do you want to go grab that from the Broncos Twitter and we'll show the schedule release video here in a few minutes? But Zach, let's just start right here. Your instant reaction to the Denver Broncos schedule, what is it?
Instant reaction starts with week 1. Broncos kick off the season against the Raiders at home. And Ryan, honestly, a perfect game to kick off the season for many reasons. You get the Raiders. Week 1, you get the opportunity to end the 6-game losing streak that you have against them at home. The Raiders should be about as bad as they're going to be at the beginning of the season, I think. And then on top of that, Sean Payton kicks off his career with the Broncos with the opportunity to not only end that 6-game losing streak against the Raiders, but to beat Josh McDaniels. What a great opportunity for Sean Payton to start his career, beating the Raiders, beating Josh McDaniels, ending that 6-game losing streak, and getting a first division win in week 1.
Sean, come on, bro.
Yes, you need this.
Come on, bro. We need this one really bad.
Yeah.
It's basically the same as Coach Prime starting his home opener against Nebraska.
Right.
It's Sean Payton starting his home opener against the Raiders. These are legacy games. I know it's his first game as the Broncos head coach, but it'll be a perfect poetic kind of beginning to a successful era if you can do what the last coach could not do.
Yep. And the coach before that.
I think he beat the Raiders at least once.
Vic did?
Yeah.
He would have beat him once.
Yep.
I think you're right.
I think it's the Justin Simmons interception.
Yep, you're right. Yep. His first year. Pardon me, Vic. You went 1-5 against him.
Oh, really? Is that how bad it was?
Yes.
Oh my God. Have we lost 7 in a row?
6.
6. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, need it. Need it.
Yep, they have to have it. And also, on top of that, Ryan, speaking of because Broncos fans are kind of just waiting for things to go wrong at this point in life after how many bad seasons they've had. If I were to tell you that the Broncos had 6 division games, obviously we know who they are, which one's the easiest?
The easiest division game is Chargers at home.
No, no, get out of here. It's Raiders at home.
No.
Oh, get out of here. Well, I would make the case that Raiders at home's the easiest. You lose this one, people are just going to be going to dark places.
Yeah, I mean, my defense would be the Broncos have won the last 2 Chargers at home games and lost the last 2 Raiders at home.
Well, that's fair. You have a case there. For this year, I'd make the opposite argument, but I see what you're saying.
Maybe the last 3 Chargers at home the Broncos have in the bag.
Potentially, yeah.
So it would have been the PS2 pick 6 game.
Yep.
This week 17 or week 18 last year, right?
Yep.
The year before would have been.
Was that Drew Lock comeback?
Is that?
Or was that the year before that? Yeah, that would have been. No, Drew Lock comeback was 2 years ago.
So this is 2020.
Did Teddy beat them?
Oh,
is the question.
Did Teddy beat the Chargers at home?
Yeah. Slash, was Drew already in? Was Drew in at that point? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm focused on the future.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, you have an argument there.
Yep.
That's for sure.
But I do love this. I love starting off the season with some hate.
Yep.
Someone said it in the comments. Jose said Raider Week starts now.
Yep.
Let's go.
I love it. And Sean Payton's prep for beating Josh McDaniels in the Raiders starts now. And, Ryan, this is hopefully at some point soon, or at least leading up to week 1, we get some fire from Sean Payton. Not the
Dude.
my dad worked for the Raiders, so, I have a soft spot in my heart for that. No! Hopefully some F-bombs toward the Raiders.
Honestly, it's so simple. Yeah. All he has to say is, if you step foot in this organization, you understand the history and the rivalry between these 2 teams.
Yep.
And the second that you put on orange and blue, you hate silver and black.
And also F their head coach.
Yes. And their head coach is
You should have seen what he done to this organization. It'd be incredible.
Yeah.
And I think Sean is going to embrace it.
Their head coach was an embarrassment to this proud organization.
Yep.
And he's a little rat. You know what?
Yep, exactly. I love it. We don't want to go through the schedule 1 through 18 because we're going to do that. So what's your biggest takeaway?
4 primetime games?
Yeah, that's a big one.
4?
After last year?
We set the over-under at 2.5.
Yep.
You took the under, I took the over.
Congratulations,
so did Hank.
You did, yep.
And they got 4.
Yep.
You got Chiefs, Thursday Night Football, Week 6.
Yep.
In a world where I leak schedules, you would have known that hours ago.
Honestly, though, can I just say something about that game? That is so sick and messed up of the NFL. Not just to the Broncos, to any team in the NFL. Ryan, this is, I said arguably in a tweet, not arguably. This is without a doubt the hardest game that anyone in the NFL has this year. It's a Thursday night game, which sucks. It's an away Thursday night game, which sucks even more. And it's against the Super Bowl champs. Even though Broncos hate the Chiefs, you understand that the Super Bowl champs, they're good. It sucks. Those 3 things together, you can't convince me that any other game on anyone's schedule is more difficult.
I'm sure I could do some digging to find...
How?
So here's
You're playing the defending champs at their house on a short Thursday night week.
Yes, you are. Here's a couple things about it. 1, it's at Arrowhead before it gets too cold, which I'll take.
That's true.
True. That's a check in the positive box for me.
Yep.
2, you're coming off a home game, so it's a quick flight from Denver to KC. In the past, the Broncos have had Thursday night at Cleveland, Thursday night at New York.
Yep.
Those ones suck.
Right.
So I would rather have a quick trip than a long one.
Okay.
If it was like the worst game you could probably have is the Chargers going to the Bills on Thursday night after playing the Dolphins on the road the week before. So they got to go East Coast, back to the West Coast, back to the East Coast in a matter of days.
I bet that doesn't happen.
No, I know.
Right.
So it's got to be one of the toughest. I'll be honest, I don't mind it.
Wow. Why?
Because of what I said. I wanted the Chiefs early. We got the Chiefs early. That's really all I want.
And
That's all I care about.
I do like that. We're talking about an October 12th game. It's going to be tough for it to be snowing and 12 degrees outside.
Yes. Yeah, it should be still warm.
It should be. It should be. So that's the first primetime game.
Is that the last time the Broncos won at Arrowhead? Was the Jamal Charles game?
Yep.
So there you go. They just needed an early season game.
Ryan, that's the last time the Broncos have beat the Chiefs.
Beat the Chiefs, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. That's all we needed. They just kept screwing us with the late December.
It's true.
At Arrowhead bullshit.
There we go. Next primetime game is
by the way, I have a couple new names for the stadium.
Okay.
Narrowhead, because all of their fans are pinheads.
Stop! Don't do this.
What about this Sparrowhead, because all of their fans are bird brains.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I'll allow you to do this. Do not let this trickle into the Broncos locker room and have, Cortland Sutton say this before a game.
All right.
Sparrowhead and Narrowhead. I like it. There we go.
I like Sparrowhead.
Yep. I like it a lot.
The smartest. Sparrow might be the smartest person in the stadium. All right.
The next primetime game at Buffalo, November 13th.
Yeah.
After a bye week. Broncos coming off a bye.
So they get an extra day.
They get
extra long bye.
Exactly, because it's a Monday night game. The Broncos' only Monday night game. That's a tough one. Well, how do you feel about November 13th in Buffalo?
Hate it.
Okay.
At night?
Yeah.
It's going to be cold and windy and dark?
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, that's a schedule loss for me, even more than Arrowhead on a Thursday.
What sucks about this one is you should get a boost coming off a bye. And you kind of wish you had a boost against, like, an average team. Not against a bad team, because you don't need that, but against the second best team you play, the third best team you play, this is a tough one.
Yeah, don't love it.
So first two primetime games on the road, really difficult games.
Yes.
Won't be flexed, though.
Exactly.
And then the final two primetime games.
And this one won't be flexed either, right?
The next one...
I thought week 12 is the flex zone.
I think the Broncos are safe. The very next week, after a Monday night game in Buffalo, the Broncos host the Vikings. This is one we talked about earlier. Host the Vikings at home for Sunday Night Football. Kind of a weird game to have on primetime.
Yeah,
the
very
George
weird
Payton Bowl.
Yeah,
as everyone's going to be calling
Dalvin
it.
Cook's return to Minnesota.
Return against Minnesota since it's in Denver.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, is that why they're keeping number 0 open? For Dalvin?
Is he a number 0 guy?
I don't know. I could see him wearing it.
Oh, we can talk about numbers a little later. That's the best angle I've got.
Yeah, and I like that one. Maybe there was a report put out earlier this week, I think, that said some team already has a trade in place for Dalvin Cook. They just want to wait until after the June 1 designation. Maybe the NFL has word of who that is.
Does the NFL... Like, does June 1 mean you actually have to wait until after June 1st?
I don't think so.
Or is it like, you can post June 1 designate after May 20th?
Yeah, I think it's like that.
I think so too.
So I didn't believe that report entirely, but it's fun to hold on to until June 2nd.
Yes, they knew it. They knew it was the Dalvin Cook revenge game.
Man, that would be great. And then the final primetime game for the Broncos, you and I are spending Christmas Eve together, and so is Broncos Country.
Let's go.
Because not only a Christmas Eve game for the Broncos at home, but a 6:15 game. It's technically a Sunday night football game, but because it's Christmas Eve, it's on NFL Network, so I don't think it's technically Sunday night football, but it is Sunday night football.
And it'll probably be branded as like Thursday night football.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
This one actually sucks quite a bit.
Yeah, because of the time.
Yeah,
Christmas
like,
Eve and night. Yeah, this one does suck.
That is the heart of my family celebrating Christmas.
Yep, me too as well. Last year they're like, oh, we're gonna make this bad middle of Christmas Day. It's like, okay, it does suck. It's not the worst. This one is the worst.
Yeah, I'll be missing out on like prime rib and stone crabs at my house.
That's actually, I think, exactly what my family does as well. It's the best meal of the year.
It's so good.
And we'll be spending it together over...
Right here.
Yeah, I was going to say, right here and with the mice at the stadium.
Oh, it's a home game.
It is a home game, so we get that.
Man, tailgate on Christmas Eve.
Is that slap or no?
I don't know.
I feel like, well, it probably depends on the Broncos.
Yeah,
if
that's
they're
true.
good, it'll probably be something where you're buying tickets for your family for Christmas for
I forgot that like holiday games can be fun
Right,
if the team is good.
right. It's always New Year's Eve, and it's like, well, this kind of sucks. We're going to be here until 11, then scramble for the last 30 minutes to celebrate New Year's. The Broncos do have a New Year's Eve
The Broncos
game.
are good. Like, everyone plans their holiday around the game.
Yep, exactly. And then the following week, Chargers at home, New Year's Eve, but it's a 2:25 p.m. game.
Yep, this one also not good for me.
No.
We usually go to the East Coast for New Year's Eve.
You do. This one could also be flexed potentially. If the Chargers and Broncos are making that playoff push, this would be a great game to flex.
Yep. And wait, we called the last two games in our schedule prediction.
Damn right we did.
Let's
You're damn
go.
right we did. Chargers at home, Raiders on the road. And let's get into more of these games and more of our big takeaways. But first, if you want to watch these games, you got to have Fubo TV. You want to watch the Nuggets tonight? In an hour and a half, you got to have Fubo TV. So check them out. Use that promo code DNVR when you sign up. Go to FuboTV.com/DNVR to get 15% off. And you can scan the QR code on our screen. It's easy for you right there. I use Fubo. Use Fubo. It is so easy, so nice, and you get all the sports that you can want. So check them out, FuboTV.com/DNVR.
Informal straw poll in the comments. I want to know something from you guys. Other than at Raiders Week 18 in Vegas,
Okay.
what game would you want to travel to the most?
Can I read them really quick?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you want to tell us about Backus and Schenker?
Also, Backus and Schenker, if you are traveling to a Broncos game and you get attacked by a wild Raiders fan or a narrowhead, a narrowhead at Sparrowhead.
A sparrow just drilling your head?
Oh, God.
Wow.
You got to call Backus and Schenker.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if they can help you if you're in another state, but
if a Chiefs fan attacks you here
in Denver attacks you, you want to call Backus and Schenker. If you need to sue, smash the 2.
Boom.
And the best part about Backus and Schenker is it's not that you don't have to pay them unless they win. It's you don't have to pay them until they win. Because they are going to win you your case. And then you just take those winnings from that Chiefs fan who hopefully has a good job, even though it's probably not likely. You take your money from them and you use that to pay Backus and Schenker.
Yep, exactly. So if you need to sue, smash the 2.
If you need to sue, smash the 2.
Okay,
222-2222.
Here are the road opponents for the Broncos. I'm going to go in order of when these games are. At Miami, the Dolphins.
Okay, so starting off hot.
That's probably not ideal.
No, but I mean in terms of going to the game, that's got to be top 3.
Yeah, I agree. But then at Chicago, one of the things we didn't want was Chicago in December. They're giving us Chicago October 1st. That may be the perfect time to go to Chicago. Not too hot, not too cold.
Damn.
That's a dead CHGO.
I know.
That is juicy. So we got that one.
I love the city of Chicago so much.
Yeah, it is a good city. Then at Kansas City, Thursday night.
It's hard to travel to Thursday night games just because now you've got to take off probably Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from work.
Right. Yep. As opposed to just Monday.
Right.
Yep.
Or even nothing.
Yeah, it's so true. So that one's a tough one. Then you wait until November 13th at Buffalo. That's one's probably
a hard no.
A B. A B is a no.
To be fair, like I've been to a game in Buffalo, and while it is a cool football city, there's nothing cool about being in Buffalo.
In November.
And like even the wings aren't that good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They travel well, right?
Right. Like you can get good wings in every city.
And additionally, you took at least one layover to get there, right?
Yes, I had to fly into Philly and then to Buffalo.
In a nation where there's layovers shouldn't be a thing anymore.
They
still are for Buffalo. So yeah, that one's gonna be a no. At Houston, December 3rd. Then at the Chargers.
Okay, that's a good one. Late
December.
Yeah, December trip to LA. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. And then this is the third road game in a row, Ryan. At Detroit.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case. And then end of the season, you said not this one, but at the Raiders.
That's probably, to me, that's number 1.
And also, I agree with you. January game, get out of here in January. Right. Quick trip. Also, a good thing for Broncos' sake, It's the week after New Year's. It's not actually on New Year's because that would be bad. I would not like that for Broncos.
And that's why we flipped them when we were doing our perfect schedule.
That's exactly right.
I also have been to Vegas in mid-January before, early to mid-January, and I'm pretty sure I was told that's the slowest time of the year in Vegas, so you get like the cheapest hotels.
Especially the week after New Year's?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, so like we could probably book a hotel that week right now for like $38.
We'll probably need to do that because when Raiders get their schedule, the hotels just go crazy. Maybe
sure,
not here then.
But I don't think even then, like there's just nothing else going on in Vegas in early January.
So that's fair. I was thinking of when I had to go there for a friend's wedding a couple of years ago. It was like September. And so a lot of things going on.
Yep.
So really good point. Okay, so those are the road games. I'm already seeing a lot of Chicago, CHGO people voting. And some Buffalo. People said it'd be a fun game, but it'd be really cold. Some people will be in Miami. A lot of Miami. Okay, a lot of Miami in here.
Miami and Chicago is a tough.
Yep. Back-to-back weeks, too.
I think my tiebreaker is that Miami in September is going to be cooking.
It is. It's going to be very hot.
Humid.
October 1st in Chicago.
October 1st in Chicago,
perfect.
Which, despite what anyone in the comments might say, is an elite American city, is maybe the move.
I think those are going to be the two games that there's a decision over for people to travel to, people being a broad sense, because it's already going on a fight in the comment section. And don't worry, Cody, Vegas, locked in.
Also, like LA would be a better candidate for me if it was like, LA is so spread out.
Right.
Whereas I don't know, you go to Chicago, which is a very large city. It's like the stadium's in the city. And you're like you like stay in the city and then you go to the game in the city and like everything is being done in the city. Whereas like LA, you're like staying over here and the airport's over here and the stadium's over here.
It'd be cool also to go to SoFi because how incredible of a stadium it is. But the atmosphere for a game just wouldn't be the same. And to be fair, same with Miami. I don't think the atmosphere for a game in Miami would be very cool. And so that Chicago has that over those two. The atmosphere would be good.
Cody says it's Vegas, boys, and it's easy. We already said not other than Vegas. Vegas is a lock.
Easy. It is a lock. Okay, Ryan, another takeaway for this. You're probably going to disagree. I think there is a miserable 3-game stretch within a 4-week period.
Okay.
And can you guess if I didn't already tell you?
It's weeks 5, 6, 7, 8.
It is weeks 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the Jets at home, Kansas City on the road on that short Thursday night, Green Bay at home, and then Kansas City at home. Obviously, the 3 tough games, not Green Bay in my opinion, but the Jets, you play 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. That's me not liking Aaron Rodgers, but he's a Hall of Famer. You play 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in 4-week span. That is awful. And then one of them is on the road in Kansas City, short Thursday night game. To me, this is just so brutal. And then that Green Bay game, I don't believe in Jordan Love. But Ryan, if he's the truth and he's good and teams haven't figured him out yet because that's just in week 7, that's going to be his 8th career start, that could just be like an average normal game, which you don't even get like major relief, like you're not playing the Texans or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is a rough stretch for sure. What's great is it comes off a great stretch.
Right.
So
you got to start hot.
It puts so much pressure on those early games because, if you start 4-0, which is right there for you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you start 4-0, then now you're kind of playing with house money going into this stretch. It's like, hey, 1-3 isn't the end of the world.
Yep. 5-3 out of that with playing the Chiefs twice.
Yeah.
And you have a winning record.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you got no more Chiefs on the schedule.
Yep.
So if you start 2-2, well, now you're saying, okay, we probably have to get out of this next stretch 2-2. Where are we finding our wins?
Right. Exactly.
Anything worse than that?
Yeah. No, 100%.
We're glad the first round pick's back in the fold.
You're right. So honestly, those first 4 games, 3-1 is where you want to be, so that if you go 1-3 in those next 4 games, you're 500. And again, you're 500 after having played the Chiefs twice and one of the best quarterbacks, not named Patrick Mahomes. You had already played him and Aaron Rodgers on the schedule. So you're right. And then you get a bye. I mean, it's crazy. You get a 4-game easy stretch, 4-game hard stretch, and then time to take a breather.
Yep.
Also, bye, perfect. Week 9 bye.
That's what
I wanted week 12, and you said, that may be a little too late for me. Make it like I think you might have even said week 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. It's always aim for 8 or 9.
Yeah.
How about this, Zach? We are in year 3 of a 17-game schedule. The Broncos have yet to play 9 road games.
Incredible. Wow.
9 home games, then 8 in the international, and now back to 9 home games.
Would you be shocked if they're playing an international game next year in Mexico?
Oh, it would be that would guarantee the first 5 years of the schedule coming out. They had 9 home games.
Also,
never had 9 road games.
Why that could be realistic? The Broncos, as an organization, but specifically with their president, Damani Leach. Damani Leach, you know what he did for like the past 10 to 15 years? He was the head of NFL and International.
Yep.
So he wants to expand the game. He wants to bring the Broncos overseas or over borders.
And I believe it was Joe Ellis who was really, really big on the Broncos getting a London game.
Yep.
But ever since then, they have gone all in on Mexico City.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Damani Leach is pounding the table for a Mexico City game. Which I would love.
I want to go to Mexico City so bad. It's not a city that I think of for like vacation off the top of my head, but whenever I hear anything about it, it just seems awesome.
Yeah, and I've heard it's one of the best food cities in the world.
Wow, yep.
And
it's like dinner time right now.
The Broncos cost me the opportunity to go to a wedding in Mexico City last year, so they owe me a trip to Mexico City.
They do. How dare them? So next year, let's take away a Raiders home game in order to have that in Mexico City. How about that?
Yes.
Okay, so we figured out the 2024 schedule already. Any other big takeaways for you, Ryan?
Well,
let's just actually. Any other big takeaways?
The 3-game road trip is just never good. Like that's just bad for your body.
Yeah, it's very true.
To go from like just constantly traveling and playing football 3 weeks in a row is not good. What I will say is you're getting the Texans, Chargers, and Lions.
Yeah.
You should expect to go 2-1 in that stretch.
You should. Absolutely, especially Chargers on the road. Never a road game.
Yep.
And then who knows? You really should split the Chargers and the Lions kind of at a minimum. And then, come on, you got to beat the Texans if you want to be competitive in December. That game's December 3rd. You got to beat them.
I don't know. Obviously, these guys are built very different. But taking, 6 flights in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Of out to Houston, back to Denver, out to LA, back to Denver, out to Detroit, back to Denver.
Yeah.
That's just hard on your body.
It is. And also, that Detroit game, right now, the NFL set it up where it could be a Saturday or Sunday game. So if you're going road to the Chargers on Sunday, you come back to Denver, then you're going road to the Lions on Saturday. Man, that sucks.
Yeah. So that's tough. You don't like to see that.
Yeah, no.
But otherwise, I think the schedule shook out really, really well.
I think so too. You end 2 of the final 3 games are at home, which is nice. You like to see that. And after the bye, you're playing Buffalo. I mean, that's again, I wouldn't want to waste the bye on something like that. But if you're ever going to be able to beat Buffalo, you're coming off a bye with a really good head coach. Really good head coaches are able to capitalize coming off of byes.
Yeah, absolutely. It is weird. I have to keep reminding myself the Broncos have a good coach.
Yep, it's true.
Legitimately, I forget sometimes.
Yeah, well, even last year at this point with Nathaniel Hackett, we knew the Broncos had a different coach. He was going to be exciting. He was going to be fun if things went right, which they were getting a Hall of Fame quarterback. It felt like things were going to go right, and that's exactly the approach Nathaniel Hackett took. But it was like, okay, things feel good. With Sean, things will be good from a coaching standpoint.
The reason I bring that up is because I just look at Buffalo off the bye, and I just have to remind myself Sean Payton is going to win you a couple games this year.
It's true.
Is that one of them? Because he has a full 2-week period to prepare for the Buffalo Bills. Is that the one where he steals it because he delivers the perfect game plan?
Yep, and this just makes me think of Andy Reid, unfortunately. But even before he had Patrick Mahomes, he was something crazy, 15-1 coming off a bye. I bet Sean Payton's very similar.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. He's going to win you a couple games off a game plan. One of the biggest things that I think just the average fan misses when something unexpected happens is why. And it's usually because the one coach outcoached the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, how did that team lose to that team? It's like, well, the team that you believe should lose had a perfect game plan, and the team that you thought should win had a bad game plan.
Football coaching matters more than any sport, and it's not even close.
By far.
So the Broncos now have that leg up. And as we've said, this is not a crazy thing to say. The Broncos have one of the best offensive minds of all time.
Yes.
Now with Sean Payton. And he obviously is good with managing the organization.
It's about to pop off in this
about
bar for
to
the Nuggets game.
Pop off. It's getting, the vibes are amazing. And Ryan, speaking of popping off, Broncos tickets, single game tickets, are on sale right now. So if you're not able to get a hold of them right now, they might already be on Game Time. So check out our friends over at Game Time, and maybe don't even bother buying them through the Broncos, because if you buy them through Game Time,
they're up.
you're going to get $20 off by using the code DNVR when you download the Game Time app. So check them out. Brian said tickets are already up. If you find a good deal, buy it now. But Game Time says, they're great at waiting. If you're in Arizona right now, we're an hour and 15 minutes away from Nuggets Suns. Maybe this is the time to buy tickets right now. So check them out. Game Time. Use that promo code DNVR to get $20 off your first purchase.
Get in the stadium for $199. I'd wait, but it's not bad.
You'd wait?
Yeah, I'd always wait.
Yeah, of course. You have to wait. For $199?
Yeah.
For tonight?
No, for Broncos Raiders week 1.
Man, yeah. Wait. But use Game Time when you do. You're also, right now, you know what everyone in this bar is doing?
Drinking Breck Brews?
Crushing them. Yeah. Crushing Breck Brews, because it is the official beer of DNVR, of DNVR Bar as well.
Yep.
So make sure to get yourself some Breckenridge beer. If you're not able to make it to the bar tonight, go to breckbrew.com to check out their beer locator. We're at their beer locator. You can find where you can get any beer, not just any Breck Brew, but any of the specific beers they have. So check them out, breckbrew.com. Get yourself for tonight.
Let's go. All
Ryan,
right, Zach.
Should we go through the schedule? Do a way too early, as some people would say. I would say perfectly timed Broncos win-loss.
I love doing these just based on how much the people that hate doing these hate it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fool's errand. I'm like, yep, I'm a fool. So let's do it.
Especially, what's going to change between that and touching wood? Obviously, injuries can change for any team. We hope that doesn't happen for any team. But that's the only thing that's going to change. We know the free agents. We know the head coach. We know the draft class. So this is actually an apt time to do it.
Yeah, and we know the schedule.
We do, yes. So let's get in our season predictions. Of course, they're going to go 2-0 against the Chiefs, right, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
As we've got a Chiefs person up here right now. I didn't say who. But let's start off. Week 1, Raiders.
Dub.
They simply have to win this game.
Broncos don't lose early season home games.
And they can't to this one. I think it's the easiest division game they have, so they will get a win, too.
And I know when I said that, some people at home were probably immediately like, well, what about last year? They still didn't lose at home early in last season.
It was not a home game.
Well, they lost to the Hawks, but they beat the 49ers and the Texans at home.
And the Texans they still won the game where it was the countdown the play clock.
Yes.
They still won that.
Yes. The Broncos don't lose early season home games.
And also, we just talked about how important coaching is. This is Sean Payton against Josh McDaniels. Come on.
Yeah.
The streak, the 6-game losing streak ends this
now.
week.
It ends now.
It ends now. Okay, so we both got them 1-0. Week 2, Commanders at home.
Dub.
Ryan, Commanders were a 500 team last year. Does that scare you at all?
No.
It doesn't scare me either. At home, this isn't a guaranteed win, but it's one that I'm confident saying it's a win. So 2-0 into Miami. Ryan, this is week 3, but this is the Dolphins' home opener.
I have to put an L down here.
Wow, this is your guy, Mike McDaniel.
I know. That's why I'm putting an L down here.
Do you see Mike McDaniel? I didn't put the S on there.
Yeah, good job.
And we've been saying McDaniels.
And he's probably been studying that Madden footage I sent him ever since we were at the Combine.
Are you saying it's going to start off with a jet sweep touchdown from like the 35-yard line?
Probably.
Wow. What if it was?
That would be crazy. I would take full credit and blame, I guess.
I would give you I would give you both. I'm going Tua probably healthy at this point. When Tua was healthy, he was legitimately an MVP candidate for like the first 8 weeks of the season. So yeah, I'm going to go a loss as well.
Okay.
You got to get this next one. Bears on the road. You're shaking your... Henry's going to agree with you with this. You're like, easy one. This is not going to be an easy game.
Not easy. Nothing's easy on the road.
This is the worst team in the NFL last year.
It sure is.
The Broncos squeak out a win. Squeak out a win.
Yeah, I think the Broncos win. It's not going to be easy.
I'm uncomfortable.
But hey, we might have a huge crew of people there.
It's very true. So 3-1. What do we say they need to be, Ryan? 3-1.
3-1.
Coming out of this stretch.
Yep.
Are we going to disagree about this next one? Jets at home. This is the return of Nathaniel Hackett. Speaking of counting down the play clock, the crowd is going to be electric, but I think the Jets are a great team. I think the Broncos lose this one.
Oh, Zach, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do here.
Oh, am I convincing you a little bit?
No, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Don't worry, you'll be able to cool off over these next few games.
I know, but I'm like trying to figure out where I'm going to do certain things. I think I have to go loss here.
Loss. Wow. Okay, so we got him 3-2 going into Arrowhead. Short week, Thursday night game, the toughest game on anyone's schedule. This is a loss for me.
It's a loss.
Yeah, at home against the Packers. This is one where I feel like the Broncos are going to be feeling Sean Payton's going to give them desperation. And I think that's going to be huge. I think they beat the Jordan Love Packers knowing that they're stuck in a sandwich right here in which they have to win this game.
They definitely win this one.
Definitely. I like that. I like that confidence.
I think the Packers are going to be awful.
I love it. And do you think that the Packers are going to be the Broncos of last year where they get tons of home game or tons of primetime games and then they just are like, what are you doing?
At least the Broncos had a reason to get the primetime games.
I mean, yes, I agree with you.
What? There's not even a star on the team.
Jordan Love. Did Aaron Rodgers get hurt one game at the end of last year? Jordan Love came in for a series and looked good.
He did look good.
But that was it. I mean, that's all you have to go off with Jordan Love.
But I'm just saying, like, who's the most popular player on the Packers?
Well, Devontae Adams, right? Oh, wait, they traded him. Alan Lazard?
Gone.
Oh, gone. Yeah, I'm out of options. I don't know.
Like Jair Alexander?
Yeah. Legitimately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
And we know when it's a cornerback how tough that can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Broncos are 4-3. Chiefs at home before a bye. Is this when it ends, Ryan?
Streak's over, baby.
This is when it ends.
Streak's
Let's
over,
go.
baby. Let's
Streak's
go.
over.
Finally.
1-game win streak against the Chiefs starts before the bye. No better way to go into the bye week. Winning record, so 5-3.
Yep.
You just beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the bye. And Ryan, we're talking about the next game being at Buffalo. If you just beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Sean Payton, you're 5-3. There is definitely a way to beat the Bills after the bye. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a chance. So I'm going loss here, but right now, I'm saying that game's...
Wait, you're going Bills loss?
I'm going Bills loss.
But you're agreeing with me on Chiefs win.
No, I'm not agreeing with... I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself there. So I got 4-4. You sold me. I jumped on the hype train with you. All
right.
But I'm going 4-4 in the bye.
Okay, I've got 5-3 going into the bye. You come out against the Buffalo Bills on the road in the cold. It's a loss.
So you got them 5-4. I've got them 4-5. This is a loss as well. Really tough game there. And then after the Bills game, Vikings at home. Remember, this was like what were they? 12-5 Vikings last year?
Yep.
This is a tough game. It's like a hard tough game or an easy tough game.
You have to pick, if you're going to pick a couple that you think they're going to win, that other people would think they're going to lose, you got to pick a couple that other people are going to think they're going to win, that they're going to lose. Unfortunately, I have this one as a loss.
Damn, a loss. I'm going to give this one a win for the Broncos. So we're all tied up at 5. 5-5 through 10.
Yes.
If I were to give that to you right now, 5-5 through these 10 games, do you take it?
In a heartbeat.
Because then the Broncos, they're mid-November, entering the end of November, and they're in it in November and December.
Yeah, and you're going into a stretch against the Browns, Texans, Chargers, and Lions.
Yeah, and you just got over the Chiefs, both games,
and
the Bills.
You have no more. You don't have any more hard games on your schedule.
You don't have any games where you say, "Man, that one."
I shouldn't say hard games; they're all hard in the NFL. There's none where you're like, well, shit.
Yep, I completely agree. Browns at home the next game.
Dub.
I'm going loss here, kind of the opposite logic or the same logic that you had. So 5-6 for me, 6-5 for you.
Oh, I have to flip mine. Kirk Cousins in primetime.
Man, that is prime time. You're right.
There's no way that Kirk Cousins is beating Russell Wilson in primetime. Russell Wilson's really good in primetime.
Yeah.
He wasn't last year, but
yeah,
forget that.
It's still, even statistically with last year.
What were they 1-3 in primetime?
Well, do you count Christmas?
No.
Then, yeah. 1-3.
So it was.
They beat the 49ers. Are you kidding me?
Is that the only win they had in primetime?
That's the only win. They lost to the garbage Colts. They lost to what other garbage teams did they lose to last year?
All of them, but I can't believe they lost to the Colts.
I know.
Fuck.
And
that one, I don't know if I'll ever get over it.
They went to overtime in 2 of their primetime games. Ryan, they scored 20 total points in both of those games going into overtime. They had 10 quarters. They averaged 2 points per quarter. Come on.
It's all right.
That's going to change.
It's the past.
It's going to change.
Okay, so I'm flipping it. Vikings is a dub because Kirk Cousins doesn't win in primetime.
Okay.
I remember last year when he threw 3 picks to Darius Slay. Or 2 picks. It should have been 4.
So bad.
And then I'll say Browns random unexpected loss.
Okay, so then
we're still at 5-5.
So 5-5 through 10? Is that what we're at right now?
That would be 6-5. Yeah, it's 6-5.
Yep, you got him 6-5. I got him 5-6 going in to the Texans. I got him back to 6-6. Texans might be competitive, but the Broncos should still win.
Yes.
So you've got them 7-5.
Yep.
Going into the Chargers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to give it a split with the Chargers again this year, not to be a spoiler, but they'll lose the road.
Yep, and I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to go in 6-7, Detroit on the road.
So I have them at 7-6. You have them at 6-7?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. 6-7, 7-6 with 4 games left.
At Lions, I'll go loss.
At the Lions, so you're at 7-7. I'm also going to go loss.
By the way, I said they should expect to go 2-1 in those games, which they should. I guess they should expect to go 3-0. But it's tough. It's tough.
And I agree with you.
That Lions game is going to be the back end of just a rough stretch of travel.
And potentially a Saturday game. So a short week. I'm going loss as well, even though we said they should go 2-1. Loss, so I've got them at 6-8. You've got them at 7-7 with the final 3 games. Patriots at home.
Dub.
This is, to me, whoever's at home. Broncos are at home. Yep. It's a dub. So
who's going to be the quarterback?
It's going to be Mac. He's going to bounce back. He's going to bounce back. Bounce back to being like good enough.
Yep.
Not great. So I've got him at 7-8. You've got him at 8-7.
Yes.
Right? With 2 games left.
Yep.
Chargers at home. New Year's Eve.
Dub.
I'm going. Oh, man. I can't have them lose twice to the Chargers, can I?
If you understand historical context, you can't.
It's true. I'll go win as well. So you've got them with 1 game left, Ryan.
9-7.
And I've got them at 8-8. 8-8. With 1 game left against the Raiders on the road.
They just don't. They never do well in this game.
No!
They never do well in this game. The late season at Raiders, they just never do well in the game. So they lose it. 9-8 season. It's kind of what I've been thinking. Now, all of this is me being optimistic about Russ.
Yeah.
It has. I'm saying it has to be different with Sean Payton and Russ.
Yep.
Otherwise, just throw all of this out the window and light it on fire.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless
Jarrett Stidham's the
let's
answer.
start talking about fucking Caleb Williams. But this is me being optimistic about Russ. I still think 9-8. But dude, this schedule shakes out. Like I felt like I had to do a little bit of anti-internal homerism to get them to 9-8. Not I had to muster up some homerism to get them to 9 wins.
Yeah, and I'm right there. I'll go. Just like I use historical context to say that they're not going to lose both games against the Chargers. For that final game against the Raiders, I'll go recent historical context and say they're not going to go from a 6-game losing streak to a 2-game winning streak. I'll say they split, so I will say they lose. I'll have them at 8-9, and that's exactly where I think they're going to be. I think it's 8-9, 9-8, but also there's at least three games there that they lost where I was uncomfortable saying they were going to lose.
I know.
They could easily, yes, they could also drop 1 or 2 of those games, and I don't think they're going to be a 6-win team, but they could be a 7-win team. They could also be a 10-win team right here. And I just love, Ryan, that if they get off to a start that they should, they're given an opportunity to start 3-1 at least, then they really should be competitive the rest of the season, and down the stretch being an opportunity to be competitive, not just in November, but in December and January.
I don't know if these sort of things happen, but if Sean Payton had the pull in the league to call up the league office and ask for a favor, I think this is the favor he would have asked for, which is, please give me a decent 4-game first stretch. Please. That's all I'm asking for.
2 at home, and then your 2 road games. Not
Dolphins and Bears.
I was going to say not the easiest 2 road games, but 2 of the 3 easiest road games I think you're looking at.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't know if this is how it worked out. I don't know if there's just someone up there who likes him.
Yeah.
But this is a huge favor to Sean Payton.
Well, remember, he was suspended for an entire year. I don't think the league likes him.
I don't know, man. He's kind of got boys.
He does. That's true.
The league suspended him because they had to.
They did. And then also the Week 9 bye week. You might be onto something here.
This is a gift schedule.
Yeah.
It really is. And that first 4 weeks is all about what Hank said it when we were doing the dream schedule. He wants easy games early to build confidence and just give you a record that can spin it up. But to me, he was more about the record, give yourself a record so that even if you fall back, you're still relevant late. To me, it's a lot more about confidence. I said it a million times last season. The 2 goal line fumbles changed the entire arc of the Broncos season. I will always internally believe that.
Yeah.
And if you're able to get it started right this year, if you even just start 2-0 and Russell Wilson goes 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, all of a sudden he's like, I'm fucking back.
Yep.
Actually, he probably wouldn't curse.
No, he definitely wouldn't.
But,
we're riding,
it's 7
baby.
o'clock. We're like, it's like Adult Swim at this point.
Right.
I think that he can kind of he needs a mental reset. He needs to feel himself be good again.
Right.
And just a 2-0 start with a good start from Russ could honestly catapult him into getting back to who he is.
Yep. And you're talking about especially Week 1, a bad defense that you're playing.
Yeah.
A bad defense with Sean
secondary.
Payton, who's going to have he's going to have 6 months to prepare for this game.
Man. I'm just imagining Jerry Jeudy just running roughshod on the Raiders.
Yep, exactly. And Pat Surtain's going to have an opportunity to shut down Devontae Adams and kind of end that narrative. Show Devontae that he's made it now. The All-Pro Pat Surtain, might I add. I like the way the schedule came out for the Broncos.
Zach, this might sound crazy. Right now is the best I have felt about the Broncos all offseason.
I actually agree. I'm right there with you.
They were given a gift.
Yeah.
They have to capitalize on it, but they were given a gift. I now see the path.
I agree. I really do. And man, just it seems like everything fell their way. And if they start 0-4, Caleb Williams' talk starts right then.
In fact, doesn't even talk. I will be begging them to just tank it out the rest of the way.
And I think Sean will say that too. He'll say, let's just do this.
I mean, he's done some shady stuff behind the scenes before.
It's very true.
And he would be smart to do so.
Yeah, he definitely would.
Oh, man. All right. This has been fun.
We did it.
We have a schedule. you can start to envision what a Denver Broncos season looks like.
Yep.
Also, keep an eye out for some plans announced from us.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Let's go, baby.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. No show tomorrow since we did the doubleheader today.
Yep.
We'll be back with you guys next week on the DNVR Broncos Podcast.